Something is happening, and most people can feel it, even if they don't have the words. It's not just stress, it's not just exhaustion, it's not just anxiety. There is something else moving through the human system, quietly, a pressure in the background, a tightness in the chest, a strange hum beneath your skin. As if the body is listening to something the mind cannot explain. You try to sleep, but the nervous system doesn't cooperate. You try to rest, but the fatigue feels deeper than physical. You feel wired and tired, awake, but foggy, more sensitive than usual, to light, to sound, to people, to your own thoughts. You are not imagining it, and you are not alone. Millions of people are reporting the same sensations at the same time. Even if they don't talk about it, they're carrying it. Something is in the field, but what? Some say it's anxiety, some say burnout, some say spiritual awakening, some say solar storms, and that's where the divide begins. One half of the world looks to the sky and sees danger, solar flares, X-class storms, electromagnetic disruptions, and grid failure predictions. News headlines speak of satellite damage, GPS outages, power risk. The other half looks to the sky and sees ascension, DNA activation, light codes, cosmic downloads, and the great solar flash. Two stories, two interpretations, but both born from the same silent question. Why do I feel this way? And if you're here watching this, you're likely someone who doesn't resonate with panic, but also doesn't blindly surrender to fantasy. You are seeking clarity, not comfort, not control, but understanding. Because you know, fear grows where understanding is missing. So we will not run from this. We will not numb it. We will not hype it. We will not mystify it. We will slow it down. We will engineer awareness from the inside out. Because your body is not broken. It is receiving. It is a listening device designed to detect changes in the field long before they become visible. It doesn't need a satellite dish to tell you something's shifting. It already knows. And what it's responding to may not be what you think. The moment something mysterious touches the body, the mind tries to name it, to explain it, to control it. And what it can't explain, it splits into stories. On one side, the story of fear, solar flare, Carrington event, power grid collapse, internet failure. Get ready, something big is coming. On the other side, the story of fantasy, DNA activation, light codes, cosmic downloads. The solar flash is here to awaken humanity. Both stories are loud, both stories are shared, but neither story is grounded because both begin from the same place, discomfort. And discomfort without clarity always leads to projection. The scientific world sees this discomfort and says, it must be electromagnetic interference. They measure the sky, they map the magnetic field, they observe solar flares, calculate coronal mass ejections, analyze space weather indexes, and yet they rarely ask what it's doing to the human body, to the breath, to the heart rhythm, to the emotional wave inside a mother holding her child, to the quiet anxiety under the skin of someone staring at their phone for the 100th time. The spiritual world feels the same discomfort and says, this must be a spiritual upgrade. They speak of ascension, photon belts, crystalline DNA, 5D embodiment, and yet they often bypass the physical body entirely. They rush to meaning and forget the mechanism. But the truth is far simpler than both of these extremes. The discomfort you feel is not the sign of doom, nor is it the sign of salvation. It is the signal of a system under pressure, not collapsing, not transcending, but adapting. And if you slow down enough to feel it, beneath the headlines, beneath the hashtags, beneath the cosmic promises and the electromagnetic warnings, you'll realize something profound. You are not reacting to the sun. You are reacting to the amount of signal your system is trying to process. And the only question that matters is not, will the world end, nor will I ascend into light, but simply, can my system receive this signal without collapsing? This is not about belief. This is about bandwidth. And bandwidth is a nervous system thing, not a spiritual concept, not a NASA chart, a biological capacity. It's not about what's coming from the sun. It's about whether your system is prepared to handle what it receives. That is where we go next, not out into space, but inward, into the mechanism, into the signal, into the sacred engineering of the nervous system that was never broken, just overwhelmed. You've heard it your whole life. You've heard it your whole life. The sun is a giant burning ball of gas. It gives us light, warmth, vitamin D, and sunburns. But what if that definition is outdated? What if the sun isn't just a furnace, but a transmitter? What if it's the local server of our solar system, sending data packets, not just radiation? Think like an engineer for a moment. Every server emits signals. Every system receives them. And when the data packet is too large for the receiver, crash, lag, glitch, freeze. Not because the packet is malicious, but because the receiving hardware isn't prepared. Solar flares, those sudden eruptions of energy, are not attacks from the sun. They're system-wide updates, massive data bursts encoded in electromagnetic form. They ripple through space, shifting magnetospheres, disrupting satellites, and landing right into you. Because your body, it's not a rock orbiting the sun. It's an antenna, built with exquisite precision, conductive, receptive, alive. You are made of minerals, salts, water, plasma, all of which respond to electromagnetic fields. So when the sun sends a flare, you don't just read about it in the news, you feel it. In your sleep, in your breath, in your emotions, in the way your thoughts start glitching mid-sentence, in the sudden anxiety that came out of nowhere. It's not random, it's not just you, and it's not because you're broken, it's because your system just received a high-frequency data packet, and it wasn't ready. And this is where the ancient meets the modern. Mystics call it the solar flash. They describe golden light, soul downloads, and consciousness shifts. Scientists call it a coronal mass ejection, a physical eruption of charged particles hurling toward Earth. But both are looking at the same thing from different software perspectives. You don't need to pick a side. You need to understand the mechanism. It's not magic. It's not madness. It's engineering. Your body is receiving data. Your hardware is outdated. Your system is trying to reboot. But instead of judgment, fear, or fantasy, you need one thing, an upgrade path. And that's what we open in the next chapter, not by escaping the storm, but by optimizing the receiver, not in theory, not in mysticism, but in biological engineering. So now imagine this. You're trying to play a 4K movie on a decade-old phone. The screen freezes, the audio stutters, the battery overheats. Is the movie broken? No, your device just wasn't built to handle that much resolution. This exact thing is what's happening to millions of people right now, and they don't even realize it. The solar data packets we talked about in the last chapter, they're real, but they don't just carry heat and radiation. They carry frequency. They carry instruction sets, almost like firmware updates, coded in energetic language. And here's the twist no guru wants to talk about. Your body is the hardware. Your nervous system is the motherboard. Your mind is the operating system. And for most people, that system hasn't been rebooted in years. It's still running on the trauma of 2003. The grief of a breakup, the fear inherited from war-stressed ancestors, all of that is stored, not metaphorically, but electrically, in your body's tissue, your fascia, and your vagus nerve. So when these high-frequency solar pulses hit the planet, when the Schumann resonance spikes, or an X-class flare delivers a multi-day blast, you crash, you feel exhausted, you call it brain fog, you say, why am I suddenly anxious? You go to Google and type, why am I dizzy, for no reason? But it's not for no reason. It's because you're trying to run 5D software, cosmic intelligence, spiritual downloads, quantum awakenings on 3D hardware. Unupdated, unpatched, and frankly, glitchy as hell. But here's the beauty. The body can be upgraded. We're not doomed to burn out. We're just being shown where the bottlenecks are. And the first sign of awakening is not bliss. It's the crash, the system failure, the breakdown. Because every breakthrough begins there, When the old OS crashes, you finally see the invitation to install something new. You've probably felt it. The pressure in your head, the strange buzzing in your ears, the sudden need to sleep for 12 hours, or not at all. And worst of all, everyone around you shrugs it off. You're just stressed. It's the weather. Maybe you're low on iron, but something in you knows this is different. Let's drop the mystery. Let's bring it into clarity, because what you're experiencing has a very real explanation, not just in spiritual terms, but in physics. Here's what's really going on. When a solar flare, or CME coronal mass ejection, hits Earth, it doesn't just fry satellites or mess with radio signals. It disturbs the geomagnetic field of the entire planet. That field, the Earth's magnetic shield, is deeply linked with your own bioelectromagnetic field. Your brain runs on electromagnetic pulses. Your heart generates its own measurable field, 60 times stronger than the brain's. Your cells communicate through ion exchanges, electrical by nature. So what happens when the Earth's field gets slammed with cosmic static? Your hardware gets noisy. That's why you feel dizzy. That's why you get that pressure in your third eye, the tightness in your chest, the sudden emotional waves, because your system is trying to recalibrate, like a phone searching for a signal in a thunderstorm. But there's a twist. If you're grounded, emotionally clear, physically healthy, spiritually present, your system absorbs that energy like an upgrade. You expand, you feel inspired, your intuition explodes. But if you're blocked, full of suppressed emotion, unresolved trauma, or running on fear, you overload. Because your internal wiring is already frayed, the solar charge just exposes the weak points. This is the physics of what some call ascension symptoms. It's not mystical nonsense, it's electromagnetic feedback. It's nervous system dysregulation caused by geomagnetic storms. It's a firmware update attempting to install on a corrupted drive. So no, you're not crazy, you're not broken, you're just in the middle of a cosmic system update, and the screen might go black for a second. That's normal. The deeper question is, are you ready to install the upgrade? The sun is not your enemy. It is not punishing you. It is not judging your readiness. It is simply broadcasting endlessly, neutrally, powerfully. The question is, can you receive it? That depends on your internal wiring. Let's step into the engineering room of your body. Imagine this. You're a radio tower. Your nervous system is the antenna. Your body is the circuit board. Your emotions are the signal amplifier. When a solar flare hits, it's like the broadcast signal gets amped up, louder, brighter, and more data-heavy than usual. But if your antenna is bent, your wires corroded, and your amplifier full of static, the message gets distorted. You don't receive light, you receive noise. This is why so many people feel worse during solar storms. It's not the sun's fault, it's signal mismatch. So what can you do? No, you don't need to build a bunker. You don't need crystals in your shoes or tinfoil on your head. What you need is to tune your system. Let's break it down in sacred path engineering terms. 1. Increase Vagol tone. Upgrade the firmware interface. Your vagus nerve is the main line between your gut, heart, and brain. If it's sluggish, your system runs old software. When it's toned, your body can regulate itself during energetic spikes. Practices: cold water exposure, humming or chanting, slow deep breathing, especially exhale focused, laughing with your full body too. Ground your signal, stabilize the base circuit. Electromagnetic spikes need a ground. Just like in electrical wiring, if your body has no ground, the energy has nowhere to discharge, leading to anxiety, insomnia, and emotional overload. Practices: barefoot walking on natural earth, touching trees or natural water sources, using grounding mats indoors, eating root vegetables. Yes, this helps physically. 3. Clear emotional static. Reduce internal noise. Old trauma acts like corrupted code. Every energetic pulse triggers the same crash sequence. To receive new frequencies, you must uninstall old pain loops. Practices: shadow journaling, somatic release work, like Trio or conscious shaking, breath work that ends in silence, ritual forgiveness, not for others, but for yourself. 4. Recode the operating system. conscious software shift. This is where intention finally comes in, but only after your hardware is cleaned up. Practices. Visualizations where your body receives light, like a fiber optic cable. Affirmations that feel real, not robotic. Spending time with people who make you feel safe and seen. So the next time a solar flare rolls in, don't fear it. Stand like an antenna on a mountain. Feel your body hum with data. Let the light run through clean circuits. Because your body, your temple, is no longer just surviving the broadcast, it's understanding it. This moment, this now, is not about survival, it is about activation. Everything we've explored so far, from the physics of solar flares to the firmware of your nervous system, has been building toward this one truth. You are not just a bystander to cosmic change, you are its intended receiver. The great misunderstanding. For generations, we've watched the sky with fear. A flash in the sun meant war. A disturbance in the field meant punishment. A ringing in the ear meant illness. Fatigue meant failure. But now, something deeper is awakening. Not in the stars, in you. You are starting to remember, not just intellectually, but somatically, that you were designed for this frequency. You are not breaking, you are booting up. So what is the solar flash really? In pure engineering terms, it's a firmware broadcast from the galactic core, relayed by our local server, the sun. It contains information, not in language, but in light, vibration, structure. What kind of information? Codes that help us evolve biologically. Patterns that correct distortions in consciousness. Frequencies that rewrite ancient fear programs. Templates for unity, coherence, remembrance. This is not myth. This is physics meeting mysticism in real time. Your body is the receiver. Your life is the interface. When you ground, regulate, and emotionally denoise your system, as we discussed in Chapter 6, you begin to receive this light without crashing. But there's one more piece. Integration, because light without integration becomes chaos. Just like downloading a new OS with no manual, you get glitches, frustration, identity confusion. So here's what integration really looks like. 1. Spiritual minimalism. Strip away unnecessary beliefs, rituals, and spiritual performance. Make space for signal clarity. Ask, what part of my practice is habit and what part is heart? 2. Embodied listening. Notice how your body speaks before the mind interferes. Solar data often enters through intuition, not intellect. Ask, what emotions keep looping and what new choice wants to emerge? 3. Time dilation awareness. Many people are reporting time distortion. Days feel both fast and frozen. This isn't a glitch, it's a sign you are syncing with non-linear consciousness. Tip, stop managing time, start feeling it. 4. Sacred tech. Not all tools are bad. Binaural beats, red light therapy, HRV tracking. Use them consciously. The key is, use tech to restore rhythm, not to escape it. Final transmission. The solar flash is not coming. It's already here. It's not a single event. It's a slow wave, syncing you with galactic intelligence, day by day. That ringing in your ear, that panic in your chest, that sudden burst of love followed by inexplicable tears, that's the upgrade installing. Not to turn you into something new, but to restore you to what you already are. A sacred engineer, a biological receiver, a soul encoded to wake up now. Let this be your new architecture. Ground your nervous system. Expand your bandwidth. Receive the light. Integrate in silence. Build a life that reflects the frequency you're tuning to. You are not here to survive the storm. You are here to become the storm's purpose. This is the new science of soul. Welcome to Sacred Path Engineering. Welcome to the solar future.